You know that a single thread of silk, commodity we often take for granted, once worth its weight in gold. That's right, delicate thread not just draped the royals, also spun the wheel of the world economy. Silk Road was a network of trade routes stretched over 4,000 miles, connecting the east and west. Like the ancient world's version of internet, it was a massive information superhighway. Except instead of data, it was goods, ideas and cultures that were being exchanged. Today, we're talking about just that. It was a Silk Road now. We think about the Silk Road, often picture caravan laden with luxurious silk, traveling across desolate deserts. While silk was indeed a major commodity, it was far from the only one. It's like the Amazon office time, dealing in everything from spices to precious stones, ivory to exotic animals, and from gold, believe it or not, rhubarb, once considered as precious as silk. Some parts of the world, apart from being a marketplace, also melting pot of different cultures and ideas. Traders travel along these routes, brought with them their beliefs, languages, and their ways of life. This led to an unprecedented level of cultural exchange. Buddhism, which originated in India, spread to China and other parts of East Asia, primarily through the Silk Road. Silk Road also facilitated the spread of knowledge and technology. Paper marking, which was invented in China, spread to the West via the Silk Road. Similarly, the technology for making from glass, the Roman Empire to China, along these routes. So you see, Silk Road was much more than just a trade route. It was a conduit for exchange of goods, yes, also of ideas, cultures, and technologies. Connected humanity in a way that had never been done before. In doing so, it shaped a course of history. Mechanics of Silk Road. Having understood what Silk Road was, now turn our attention to how it actually worked. Might be imagining yourself traveling the entire land of the Silk Road, China all the way to Rome. No, that's not how it worked. Silk Road functioned on a system of relate trade. Goods were passed from one trader to another, like a baton in a relay race. So, as a relay would travel a certain distance along the road, deal your goods to another trader, and then return home. Trader would then carry goods further along the route, so on. System of relay trade was pretty efficient. Let's not stretch it. There were challenges. Silk Road traversed some of the harshest terrain on Earth, scorching desert to freezing mountains. Had to contend with these extreme conditions. To mention the threat of bandits and pirates. Next to the role of caravans, Silk Road thrived despite these challenges. These were groups of traders, traveled together for safety, were often made up of camels, ship of the desert. These hardy creatures could withstand the harsh desert conditions and carry heavy loads, making them the ideal mode of transportation. Typically, a caravan could consist of to 1,000 camels, carrying as much as 500 pounds of goods. Apart from camels, there were horses and even yags for use depending on its range. These animals were often fitted with special saddles. Carry the good these saddles, known as pack saddles, designed to distribute the weight evenly, preventing injuries to the animal. Leading these caravans were the nomads, were the ones who knew the routes, safe passages, the oasis, and the dangerous terrain. Were the guides, the protector, and the traders. Nomads lived a life on the move, moving their animals from pasture to pasture. This lifestyle made them experts in travel survival. They kind of knew how to navigate deserts, high mountain passes, and the endless steeps. They used this knowledge to guide caravans along the Silk Road. You can say the journey was slow and arduous. Caravan could cover about 20 to 25 miles a day. A journey from China to Rome take up to 2 years. The promise of profit made it worth the risk. Architects. Okay, let's take a step back. Talk about the architects of the Silk Road. Starting from the Han Dynasty, ruled China from 206 BC to 2080, were constantly under the threat. Nomadic tribes to the north needed allies. Found them in the distant lands of the west. To ease these allies, they needed a route. So, the Silk Road was born. Han Dynasty also maintained and protected the road, watchtowers, stationed soldiers along the routes, protect traders from bandits, established rest stations. Traders could replenish their supplies. Short, made the Silk Road a viable and profitable venture. Long important trade routes was Royal Road. Stretching over 15 miles, it connected the city of Susa, the Persian Gulf to the Aegean Sea. It's the longest road to the ancient world. played a crucial role in facilitating trade communication within the Persian Empire. Royal Road was also symbol of Persian Empire's sophistication. The road was well maintained, regular stations providing food, shelter, and fresh horses for the king's messengers. Said a message could travel the length of the road. Ustawi, a remarkable feat for the time. Marco Polo, among the many travelers on the Silk Road, was one single one. His journey along these ancient routes forever changed the world. Name was Marco Polo, a Venetian merchant, explorer, and a writer who traveled along the Silk Road. 13th century, his journey lasted a staggering 24 years. Him from Venice all the way to the court of Kublai Khan in China. Marco Polo was one of the first Westerners to Silk Road to China and returned to tell the tale. Accounts of his travel complied in Travels of Marco Polo introduce Europeans to Central Asia and China, eventually sparking curiosity, and inspiring others. You might be surprised to know it was not just distance made Marco Polo's journey so remarkable. The depth of his observations didn't just pass through the land. He literally immersed himself in their cultures, learned several Asian languages, adopted local customs, even served as a government official. Court of Kublai Khan, Marco Polo's detailed accounts. His travels provide a fascinating, very exciting glimpse into the cultures, societies of the East. During the 13th century, he wrote about the wealth, grandeur of the Chinese civilization, custom and traditions of the people. The exotic goods and technologies were unknown in the West. Marco Polo marveled at the use of paper money in China, a concept that was unheard of in Europe at a time. Wrote about the efficient postal system, Grand Canal system, the production of the use of coal for heating and cooking. These accounts challenged a European's perception of the backwards and uncivilized land, painting instead a picture of sophisticated and advanced civilization. Economy impact. Apart from being a trade route, Silk was an economy lifestyle. Many countries, cities like Sarkhan and Bukhara, grew wealthy from trades that passed through their gates, became centers of cultures, learning, and innovation. They boosted local economies, leading to the rise of prosperous cities. Give you an idea, during the height of Silk Road, city of Fomiara's income estimated to be around 10,000 pounds of gold annually. Interesting fact here is that during the same time, pound of silk was worth more than pound of gold. Rome, wow. Legacy today. Silk Road might be a thing of the past. Legacy lives on. Ancient cities along the route, their rich history and cultural heritage, continue to attract tourists from around the world. Goods were traded from silk to spices, continue to be valued commodities. UNESCO was recognized in the importance of preserving this legacy, designated several sites along the Silk Road World Heritage Sites. These include the city of Samarkand in Uzbekistan, Mago Cave in China, and the Chang'an-Tiancheng corridor, which was one of the main roads of the Silk Road. That's a wrap. What aspect of the Silk Road intrigues you the most? Do you have any questions about its history, impact on culture, or its relevance today? Up in the comments before you go. Don't forget to check our latest video. Be sure you hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and thank you for watching.